Good morning, market snipers. This is Jesse. Welcome back. We have a lot to cover as usual. We're going to jump into Bitcoin, crypto, and we'll look at anything else you want to see. We'll take a look at the NASDAQ, the indices. We'll take a quick glance at the Magnificent Seven. Remember, the first 15 to 30 minutes, we're going to dive into the charts heavily. And then after that, make sure to get your comments in, your questions, and any assets you'd like me to chart. And we'll cover it on the second half of the live stream. So let's jump right in. But before we do, I just want to say thank you for your continued support. We hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube over the weekend. So I appreciate that. Onward and upward. This is just the beginning. So let's get going. We're looking at the Bitcoin chart here. So this is the Bitcoin weekly chart. We've been talking about it, covering it. It became ultra bullish on the weekly chart back here, the week of October 23rd, right? And then had a weekly close, it's still an ultra bullish territory, but it did close back above, right? So if you look back, the October 23rd week, it closed at 34,550-ish. And then yesterday, the weekly candle closed at about 35,039. So it wasn't a ton of follow through, but it's kind of letting, the trending dots catch up. It's letting the moving averages catch up. And overall, it is still ultra bullish on the weekly chart. And is it the time where Bitcoin did all the heavy lifting and pushed the market up and now lets crypto play a little bit more, right? Does Bitcoin do the heavy lifting and then let the Bitcoin miners play a little bit more? That's something we're going to find out. We're going to take a look at it. One chart I want to take a look at with you is the Bitcoin dominance chart. So we'll circle back to that one. Just because the weekly chart is ultra bullish, it doesn't mean it couldn't have a pullback on the daily chart or lower timeframes. So we'll continue to watch it, whether that's a quick wick down. So if you're using high leverage and you're getting in at this point at 35,000, just be ultra cautious. That you could always get a big move down before the next move up. So we kind of talked about this previously where Bitcoin had this big move up on the weekly chart, consolidated for weeks and or months, right? Big push up, consolidated for weeks and or months. Big push up, consolidated for a couple months and even retraced, right? And now it's had another big push up. It just seems like it's going to continue to play out in that similar fashion where the bulls and the bears continue to fight each other on TV, YouTube, and Twitter X app, right? So they'll fight over it for a couple weeks, probably get in some sort of retracement, whether that's really shallow, clear out the bearish divergence on the daily chart, or just consolidate sideways to kind of let everything kind of trend up. So even if it just consolidated sideways, right? If it consolidated sideways, you can kind of see the trajectory of the trending dots kind of moving up in this trend as of right now. So whether it just moves sideways, with spikes up and down, and then continues to move up, possibly to hit the second or the third target. The first target, I already removed it. So after hitting the second target, this is the second target, would it consolidate sideways, find support at the trending dots trajectory and the moving averages, right? And then move on upward after that. If so, that would be early January, right? The other thought I put out there on the videos, so go take a look at these videos back here, Bitcoin FOMO, the Bitcoin halving, as you can see back here. That video I put out 4 days ago. Go take a look at that video because I talk about, before the halving, expecting, possibly a rally for the next 30 to 40 days, continue on for Bitcoin prior to a correction, a bigger correction before the halving, and then after the halving, assuming we get another bull run, that would be the higher probability of the actual next big bull run. So and that's when I would call the next bull run is on. But usually there's a bigger correction, and if you go back to 2020, early 2020, there was a bigger correction. It was after the halving, but there's also a correction before the halving too. So you can go back and take a look at it. So all things are possible. We'll continue to monitor as we go on. Also, it could just kind of like retrace back similar to like here, here, and even here, where it kind of retraces back into the trending dots, right? Finds support and then moves upward after that. So that's what we're going to continue to watch on Bitcoin weekly chart. And if we move over to the Bitcoin dominance, it was ultra bullish on the weekly chart. And then it closed this last week. It closed yesterday without it being ultra bullish on the weekly chart. So that's to note, right? It's still bullish, but it's no longer ultra bullish. So if we drop down to the lower time frame on Bitcoin dominance, we were talking about it was, sometimes when the magic happens, also, starting to get overbought on the Bitcoin dominance here. And we were watching it, watching the breakdown. There's a sell signal on RSI indicator that we have, back here early November, right? Well, it's still early November, but like November 1st, November 2nd. Yeah, November 3rd, right? So Friday, there's a sell signal on RSI, followed by a candle close below the trending dots and continue to trend down. And now we have a pending sell signal as well. But it's already hit target, shorter term target 1, shorter term target 2 is not too far away. And then, of course, you got 3 and 4. We'll find out if it finds support here and then bounces from there. But as of right now, it has been breaking down the last 4 days, and it was overbought before that. So it seems like crypto could continue to play for right now, and Bitcoin is going to put its dominance to the side. But we appreciate Bitcoin, and we thank Bitcoin for doing all the heavy lifting, right? Doing all the heavy lifting, starting all the way back here, beginning of 2023, end of 2022. And then early 2023, we were talking about it. I took a leveraged long position at 16,800, and Bitcoin's never really looked back since. With obviously had some consolidations and corrections along the way, which we expect, right? As Bitcoin dominance, we're going to jump back to the weekly chart. I want to run through these crypto charts on the weekly, right? So let's take a look at those. Ethereum touched went over $1,900, right? So we were kind of talking about that this was kind of like the last line of defense for the bulls, and it did find support. And then after that, it bounced back up above the trending dots, back above the 200-week moving average. We also covered that on the videos, so you can go back and take, look, Bitcoin pumps 35,000, opportunity alert, crypto and Bitcoin miners there. You can go back to this Bitcoin crypto 1 month ago, crypto breaking out. And you can see all my viewpoints on there. So no need to rehash it over and over and over again. I'll continue to put out those shorter term videos. People seem to really like those, but then also we'll cover it on the live streams as well. So you had the buy signal on the weekly chart. It regained the 200-week moving average, and seems like the probabilities continue to increase that we're going to come up and hit target 2 here on Ethereum. Solana is ultra bullish on the weekly chart, wicked all the way up to almost $47, right? Had that buy signal back here, got back above the trending dots, consolidated for a couple of weeks, found support at the trending dots, and then pushed up 3 straight weeks in a row. Massive move to the upside from that wick down here at $19. Basically 100% move within 3 weeks. So massive move. There is no 200-week moving average on Solana. And then I put out a video just the other day, crypto buy signal. I talk about, the 200-week moving average target, also anchor VWAP, all that stuff, right? So definitely go take a look at that. Solana continues to be ultra bullish, right? And there's no trend reversals as of now on the weekly chart. So my plan is to continue to push my crypto spot holdings as long as possible. I took the entries based off the daily chart. Now that the weekly charts are continue to flip bullish and have possibly bullish momentum, I'm going to try to push it as long as I can based off the weekly chart, but also taking a look at the daily chart as well. So I won't be there's spot positions, so I'm not as concerned with taking profits, jumping in, jumping out. If I'm on a leverage trade, then definitely I'm in and out based off of the daily chart and or lower time frames, right? So had this reversal candle back here in Solana. Interesting enough, that was a reversal back here, and that was the low. And then You got another, well, you had the low back here, but then you had a reversal candle followed by a higher low and then another move to the upside there. So continuing to watch Solana be ultra bullish on the weekly chart as of right now. Chainlink, similar thoughts there. Closing in on the 200-week moving average. We talk about these on these other videos. So I'm sure you've all probably seen them by now. But if you can't remember because there's so much noise out there to block, definitely go back there and take a look at it. Good morning, everybody. We're going to just take a quick breath. Rick's Moneymaker, Helton. Good morning, Market Snipers. John Pye, welcome back. Hello, everybody. Smash a like. John Pye, thank you. I appreciate that. Our goal every single video and every single live stream is to hit 100 plus likes. We still have not reached that goal. I had a goal of 2,000 subscribers. We did reach that. So I'm not going to jump on and hound you too hard today. You know, this is a victory lap at 2,000 subscribers, but we did have 87 likes on one of the videos. And then we had 50 something likes on the live streams. So we are getting closer. We are building momentum. Good morning, everybody. Ryan, good morning. Welcome back. Luis, good morning. Welcome back. Good evening, Jesse and Snipers. Alts are all pumping. Yes, James, we talked about it. I put out the video over the weekend, early afternoon Saturday. It was good to see that crypto was pumping on a Saturday once again. We haven't seen crypto pump on the weekend for a long time. It seems like maybe there was a recent time, but I don't remember or recall crypto pumping on the weekend. So I thought I'd do a video on it and looking at some of these targets like the 200-week moving average and or the anchor VWAP that I removed from the charts. We're still possibly loading this next target for Chainlink, right? We can keep going. Aldo, welcome back. Could you look at Meta? I bought some at 309 on that little dip. Yeah, we'll take a look at it. Early bird gets the worm. Aldo was the first one. We'll definitely look at Meta. G-Rod, good morning. Welcome back, G-Rod, Jesse, and the Snipers. G-Rod, you are one of the snipers. Anyone watching this, I consider you one of the snipers. Market snipers. Yes. Good morning, Javier. Good morning, Market Snipers. A little late today, time change. Yeah, we had a time change. No problem. No problem. Memento Mori forever. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. All right. So let's take a look here. Everything. So Chainlink, let's just keep going. Cardano hit 3 of the 4. Before we look at this big target here, don't get too crazy. Don't get too excited, right? Before we look at that chart and before we hit that longer term chart, we had to hit these shorter term targets, right? So Cardano, we were playing this based off of the daily chart on spot. Right? Me. And none of this financial advice. But based off the daily chart, you know, getting an entry right around 25 cents, right? And then started to get ultra bullish, hit target 1, hit target 2, hit target 3, and the probabilities continue to stack that we're going to hit target 4. So target 4. And on the videos, I talk about, you know, if we get past all this, right? And all this resistance and all these targets, and then it flips it into support and then bounce, that would be higher probability, right? And at some point, it'll probably put in another higher low. You could say that this was low, and this is even possibly another triple bottom over here, right? And then there is bullish divergence. So all this is bullish divergence back here. We called it out on those videos even a month ago. We called it out. We called out the bullish divergence a month ago on this blue video back here on Bitcoin crypto, right? So definitely go take a look at that. This is the daily chart. Now I'm flipping over to the weekly chart, right? So the reason why LTC catching a bid, yep, I talked about that one too. Been calling it out, Javier. Seems like it's lagging time-wise, right? So we'll see. We can take a look at LTC, but yeah, it's been on the charts. It's been on the videos, and even that crypto video, Javier, LTC was on that video from 1 month ago. So yeah, it's been on the radar. I've been covering it. And so we had that buy signal in the weekly chart. It was a pending buy on Cardano. It was a pending buy back here, I believe, on the weekly chart. And now we actually had an official buy signal with the candle close yesterday. So, well, not even 24 hours ago, less than 24 hours ago. And here we are. Quick, tiny little wick here at 33 cents. and now it's starting to follow through on the weekly chart. We have a massive potential. The 200-week moving average from here is all the way up at 80. It would be an 85% move from here. I'm going to try to push this as long as possible based off the weekly chart. Could be a multi-week, maybe a multi-month rally. We don't know for sure. Never a guarantee. Never a bad decision to take profits. But this is my own personal game plan because none of this is financial advice. Education and entertainment purposes only. Smash your like. Let me know how we're doing. We'd love to get to 35, 40 likes just on the live stream itself. That would really help. Good morning, Caesar. Welcome back. That's Cardano. If you're not getting excited about crypto, Bitcoin, possibly Bitcoin miners, and also some of those AI stocks that I put out in the video, AI stocks, not too many people watched it. 275 views compared to 400 in crypto. Could be missing out. They're high risk, but you could be missing out. Let's take a look at Near. Near, another one, had hit the shorter term targets, right? Blasted through all the four shorter term targets. When Near was breaking out, when Cardano was breaking out, when DOT was breaking out, I didn't know which one was going to perform the best. I had my thoughts that maybe Near and DOT could be because they're the smaller market caps, but I'm not sure. So I diversified, right? So I diversified my spot purchases, ADA, Near, DOT, and even a little bit of lunch money on Mana, but I'm not talking about it too much because it's more lunch money. But it seems like Near is the one that's performing the most, but it was also one of the smaller market caps of the three. So you got 59% since the buy signal on the daily chart. Let's see. Let me just measure it. I'm not for sure, right? 40%. Yep. So that makes sense. And then even from DOT, from DOT is less than Near as well, right? Yeah, 25%, right? So that's what we're kind of watching. So going back to Near, it's been ultra bullish since October 26th, and it blasted through these targets. Now we're going to find out if it's going to continue upward. Up here, let's see. Let's go to the weekly chart. So you can see this was building up, and now we're going to find out if it's going to have some follow through and come up and hit longer term target 1. Doesn't mean it will. It's lagging time wise, so it could pump up, come back down, put in a higher low some point, and then move up. We don't know exactly how it's going to perform, but as of right now, the weekly chart is still bullish. Matic, I don't have anything in Matic, but it's looking very similar, and I posted it on the videos. I posted in the videos that I've been talking about. I've been covering Matic a lot. Looked like it was lagging time-wise back on this weekly candle, and then it was a pending buy signal on this weekly candle, and then actually end up closing. And I haven't even had time to do the target yet, right? So change the target from possible to actually hit. So we hit the target on Sunday, right? Actually, we hit the target back here Thursday, wicked up, came back down, and then closed up into the target. Matic is ultra bullish on the daily chart. It's closing in on the 200-week moving average, which also is right around target 4. The weekly chart had a buy signal, and it looks like there's some follow through to the upside on the weekly chart. Seems like the 200-week moving average is closing in not too far away now, 75 cents. Many probably didn't think this is possible down here at 55 cents. We're calling it out. We're watching it. DOT. There was a pending buy signal last week, but right before the candle closed, Grant, I am back for the partial live replay. Well, you're not too late, my man. So if you got it on 1.25 speed, you're probably going to catch up to us. Grant, welcome back, longtime sniper. Good to see you. So going back to DOT on the weekly chart, right? Obviously, I played it on the base off the daily chart. I swing trade based off the daily chart. That was at about $3.90. Then I was talking about another breakout of this longer term downward trend line, and then continue up, hit target 1, hit target 2, hit target 3, and has toe tapped target 4. It has not pierced it as of yet, but it has toe tapped target 4. So it has touched target 4. And now on the weekly chart, this, what I was talking about was this entire candle, for the most part, was pending a buy signal. And right before, and it was wicked up into it, right? And right before, it was pushed back down and no buy signal on dot. Now we're right back to a pending buy signal on the weekly chart. It could be still early based off of a weekly chart. You have longer term bullish divergence, right? Longer term bullish divergence. At some point, it's going to put in a higher low on the weekly chart. But as of right now, it is currently bullish and it's pending a buy signal. And if it takes off to the upside, there is tremendous upside up here, right? Tremendous upside at this target box around middle of the target box is about $15. We're not even to $5 yet. So you can do the quick math, 5, 10, 15, right? How many X is that? You can do quick math. And then Mana, right? Mana had a buy signal at yesterday's close and is back up. That closes at about 40 cents. And now it's back up to 42.5 cents already, pending buy signal on Mana weekly chart. I'm holding that one. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it. That, if you zoom out here, that looks like there's a lot of potential, right? Bullish divergence. Oh, no, this is a low. Yeah, bullish divergence, right? So it went through this bottoming phase since November 2022. So we'll see how it plays out. It's currently bullish on Mana. Now let's take a look over at let's take a look at the Nasdaq. Remember, zooming in on the weekly chart, it was breaking down, lower high, breaking down, lower high, broke down, had a sell signal, and then boom, short squeeze all the way back up, closed slightly above the trending dots, had a huge move up, right? So now we're going to find out if there's follow through, and this was, a very shallow correction on the weekly chart, or is going to lose momentum like it has in the past and then end up rolling back over. Too early to say. Remember, there was some profit taking right before my target too. There was some profit taking right before the 200-day moving average. And we were covering that on the live streams in real time, right? So I'd taken a short position here, October 12th, right? Played the short positions all the way down to October 26th. Talked about profit taking. I got out of my short position. I locked in those profits. Talked about, could it bounce into the weekend, right? It started to look like it was going to bounce in the weekend. I said, could it bounce into, late Sunday evening and into the early week, and then possibly all the way into the beginning of November, right? So the monthly chart, let's take a look at the monthly chart. So it's not how the candle starts, it's how it closes. It's possible this is a high, this is a lower high, right? And then it's possible this creates a wick at 15,280 or wherever it ends, right? It could pump this week, next week, continue to bounce, possibly, right? And then at the end of the day, it could end up with a wick and close lower, right? It's still above the trending dots, kind of letting the trending dots catch up on the monthly chart. If you look at the weekly chart, right, it could start with this wick up and then end up close back below. So too early to say. As of right now, it's still bullish on the weekly chart. Since it pumped back up, it's still bullish on the daily chart. We'll continue to watch it. Is it going to put in a lower high in the daily chart? That would be below 15,420. Doesn't mean it couldn't wick higher, right? But we're looking specifically at the candle closes. We kind of mapped this out on the daily chart back here, and this is where we're going to continue to watch. When will we know that it's going to start breaking down? Well, very simple. We drew this trend line out, and we're going to wait patiently for this move to come back down. Whether that was it, and it comes back down like this, or it continues to pump higher and higher and higher, and then it comes back down like that. So that's why I'm waiting patiently to short the next possible bounce, right? That is the NASDAQ. Dow Jones getting a bounce. What a massive bounce that was on the Dow Jones. It was getting oversold. We talked about it. we talked about on the live stream was it last Monday? Yeah, I think it was last Monday. There was a reversal candle on the daily chart after it was oversold, right? There was bullish divergence, followed by oversold, followed by reverse candle. I love to see that type of setup, whether it's bearish or bullish divergence, prices getting overbought or oversold, followed by bearish or bullish divergence, followed by reversal candle. Great time to lock in profits if you're in a short on the Dow Jones, right? And then price battles back above the trending dots, and then we get a buy signal after that. So that is the Dow Jones, probably very similar looking on the SP 500. Yep, it is. Russell 2000, very similar looking, right? So jumping over to the DXY, we have shorter term targets down here. We had a sell signal, a lower high right here. There was bearish divergence from here to here. We talked about it in the live streams. We had bearish divergence. Sell kind of battled back up, put in a lower high, and then on Friday, it broke down on the DXY and had a sell signal. Now we're going to find out if it finds support at the target 2, possibly target 3 or target 4, and when we would change our mind, when we would change our thought is if it doesn't find support, we've got this red arrow down here, right? So expecting a bounce until it breaks down from key support, right? It's possible that was it for the retracement. It's possible hitting 3 out of the 4 targets to the upside at 107 is it, right? Remember, we talked about 3 to 4 targets to the upside based off of here. Those are tracement targets, target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4. 3 out of the 4 targets to the upside were hit. We were calling for a retracement back here. It retraced 3 out of the 4 targets. Now we're going to find out if it hits 3 out of the 4 targets, finds support and bounces, or if it doesn't find support and it loses these 4 targets to the retracement back here, then we're going to find out if this bigger arrow is in play and then come back down and possibly test this 4th longer term target to the downside and the 200-week moving average. So that is the game plan. It is breaking down. Well, then we'll find out if it's support, and then where we're going to change our thought process of a bounce is back below the 102, right? So that's what we're going to find out, and that's how we're going to play it and continue to watch it there on the dollar. TLT, we were talking about this. Could be shorter term bounce, right? Could be a shorter term retracement. So far, there was a buy signal and a shorter term bounce back up to $89. But what we talked about on these live streams is that it was ultra bearish, right? There's longer term bullish divergence, but it could take weeks, if not months, to kind of play out before a more significant bounce, right? And then you've got an even longer term downward trend line. And you got a 200-week moving average up here. At some point, it could retest it, but it's not super. It was ultra bearish on the weekly chart, and now it's still just bearish on the weekly chart as of right now. It has a lot of work to do. It could go through a lot of bottoming phase, right? Could this be the bottom? Sure, that could be the bottom, but I wait for higher probability reversals. I wait for it, and then you see like a bigger, higher probability reversal like this, very similar to the Bitcoin bottom at 16,800. I didn't buy at 15,500. I didn't even risk $1 of buying at 15,500, right? But I did buy with leverage at 16,800. So I'm not looking or interested at picking the bottom at $82.70, right? It could be, because it could have been the bottom back here at $92. It could have been the bottom back here at 108, right? It could. Oh, let me get back on the cursor over here. It could have been the bottom back here at 133. And that's what the macro experts would have done for the last 2 years. Call that bottom, right? Call this bottom. Call this bottom. Well, if you call those bottoms and you're wrong, you're on the wrong side of the trade for 2 years. and not only you're on the wrong side of that investment or in trade for 2 years, then you saw your investment go down for a year for 19%, right? And then you saw your investment go down for 30% for, a year and a half. Then you saw your investment go down 38% for 2 years. I don't have billions of dollars to be wrong for 2 years, right? I can't be wrong and be on the wrong side for 38%, especially when we know when the cost of butter, the cost of energy, the cost of gas, the cost of housing, and the interest rates going up through the roof, and mortgages are at 7.5%, 8%, whatever they are today. I can't afford to do that, right? I've got bigger goals. I got bigger plans. I can't be on the wrong side for 2.5 years. But what I can do is watch and wait for a higher probability reversal. Wait for that higher probability reversal. Could this be the bottom? Yes, that could have been the bottom. That could have been the bottom. That could have been the bottom. Guess what? Those weren't the bottom. We're not guessing. Is it more likely that the bottom is in now? Yes. Was it more likely that the bottom was in back here versus back here? Yes. But it's not confirmed. And that is my plan. That is my strategy. That's what I stick to. I wait for higher probability reversals. I can't even talk. Here we go. All right, rock and roll. That's my rant of the day. Smash a like, smash a subscribe. Help me. Help you. Help me. Help me. Let's go. Smash the like, smash the subscribe button. Let's rock and roll. All right. Johnny C, good morning. Welcome back. Wes Diddy, good morning. Wes Diddy let me know he had bought XRP, that animal. Wes Diddy let me know he bought Polkadot, right? Dot, animal, right? So I love to hear what you guys bought. If it's up or if it's down. Hopefully you got a sniper entry. Good morning, Johnny. Awesome. Welcome. So let's keep going over here. Longtime sniper Johnny C in the house, right? Grant Matterson, plenty of longtime market snipers. And if you're new, awesome. Welcome. We appreciate everybody. So let's take a quick look at the U, right? Still early. Hasn't even hit shorter term target 1. Hasn't even hit longer term target 1. A lot of potential on Unity. Broke out, started to look like a breakout just on the daily chart, and then close above the trend line, and then close right back below. And we're going to see how it goes. May take a couple more days left, right? Do have this gap down here at 25.50. I did buy some stock on it, and of course it could go lower than 24.36, but that's where I'm going to hold it until it does, and we'll see how it turns out. It's high risk, potential high reward, right? We'll see. T-Doc down 4%. Again, you got all these shorter term targets. Stop loss down here at $15. The risk to reward ratio started to break out. Could come back down, put in a higher low at some point. Maybe all the way down here. Maybe a double bottom. It's possible, right? But even if it does, to me, that risk to reward ratio is still worth it, in my opinion. Artificial intelligence, right? Ticker symbol AI had the buy signal, broke out. It's a pending reversal signal. This is a wild animal. We're expecting retracements, pullbacks along the way. Breaks out. Hits target 1. Could come all the way back down. Retest the trading dots. Backtest the trend line, right? And then break out back up to the upside. It's possible. I'm going to continue to hold it unless it starts breaking down back below here. The risk to reward ratio is worth it to me. You have to decide your own for yourself. Path, all this. I'm not going to get back into it. We did cover it on the top 5 AI stock picks. What a potential opportunity it is over there. Let's take a look at the 10-year yield, right? We've been covering this. We've been covering it. Will it hit up here? But in the meantime, we talked about the bearish divergence on the 10-year yield. We covered the sell signal. It's continuing to trend down. Will it find support and bounce? Will it find support and bounce? The VIX crashed back down, right? We talked about it's a wild animal. Is playing out, right? It hit 2 targets, retested the 200-week moving average up there. Wild animal. Gold. This analysis was solid gold over here, right? Yeah, sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back. Remember, be aware. There is this gap down here on gold futures, 1850, right? We talked about it. It was ultra bearish on the daily chart. We talked about it. There could be, we talked about this on the live streams. We could see some profit taking, and they front run my target down here at 1800. They front run the 200 week moving average. It started to reverse back around. It did, and it short squeezed the crap out of the short sellers here. If you didn't take profit back here, you got short squeeze, right? So short squeeze, awesome move to the upside. The indicator's telling us it's starting to get overbought, right? No bearish divergence, but it was starting to get overbought. This could be on the daily chart a lower high, right? You start to see a daily close back below the trending dots, start to close back below. We have it mapped out already. We mapped it out back here a few days ago. We have a target here. It could find support and bounce, right? We cover this. Could get a retracement and bounce, right? Could get a retracement. And I put this target here because this is a key target area. Also, the trend line, right? So it could back test the trend line and come back down. Could come all the way back below the trend line, build up some more energy, and go like that. And it's always possible to come back down here, fill the gap, and go, right? And this would be a higher low as well. And the 200 week moving average could possibly be retested, right? As it's a moving average. So it could be trending upwards into this area. This could be another big confluence area here for gold futures. Many were probably chasing up in here. Many will be taught another valuable lesson again on gold. We're going to keep rocking and rolling, and then we're going to get into it. We're already at 37 minutes. We try to keep the first half of the live stream close to 15 to 30 minutes, rocking and rolling. We are spending our Monday money making Mondays, as Wes Diddy says, right? And we're going to take a quick look over at Magnificent Seven. We got a request from Aldo on Meta, so let's jump over that. We're going to just take a quick glance at NVIDIA, right? What a bounce that was, what a short squeeze that was. Looks like it's kind of filling this, it partially filled or filled it with the wicks here. It could be kind of backfilling it again, putting in another potential lower high. We've been covering it, right? It took out this low, took out this pivot low here, took out this pivot low here. Let's go ahead and clone this potential lower high wherever it comes in. Could be right here, wherever it is. Still, this could still potentially be the lower high, but wherever it is, let's put it up here with this. Maybe it comes back test this upward trend line back here. It is possible, right? So where will NVIDIA put in that higher low? If it puts in another higher low, I'll be looking. I don't know if I'll be shorting it, just because a lot of times options are more costly on NVIDIA, so I can get more bang for your buck on another asset, right? And have a bigger swing down possibly. But here we are, still looking for that 20% gap to be filled at some point. Eventually, a massive 20% gap gets filled. When, we don't know, but it also has a confluence of hitting target 3, longer term target 3. So we're looking for that higher low. And after it comes back down, bounces, puts in a higher low, wherever that is. Then we're looking for target 2. We don't have to worry about filling the gap until we hit target 2. We don't need to worry about hitting this next target here until we find where that next higher low is, right? So that's NVIDIA. We'll keep taking a look. Let's look at Meta for Aldo. Let's see, Aldo, where are you at? Where are you at? Meta. Here we go. Let's take a look at it. This is the daily chart here. We had, you can almost say it's almost a double top, but it did put in a higher high on the daily chart, shorter term, right? Going back to here, it was a lower high, right? Filled this massive 21% gap, right? It's still battling that massive 21% gap area. So it's definitely filling it hard, right? If you look at the weekly chart, it looks like a lower high was put in, right, on Meta. And this would be bearish divergence on the daily chart, and the weekly chart would be a lower high, and this could be a lower high, and this could be a lower high, right? So we'll see. We will see if this is going to be a lower high and another lower high, and then see if it reverses back down from there. That is still what I think. That is still what I think is what's going to happen. That it is putting in a lower high, and this was a profit taking followed by a reversal and a short squeeze for all the late shorts out there. All the shorters got excited on this candle right here. Boom, taught another valuable lesson on Meta. Hope that helps. Aldo, let me know if you have any follow-up questions on that. Amazon, very similar thoughts. The only difference with Amazon is that it had broken back down below the 200-week moving average and has battled or has ripped back up. So it still could put in a lower high and see if it retraces back below 200-week moving average. But Amazon had retraced back to March 2020 lows, and same with Meta. And so it's already had major corrections in the market. So it looks a little bit different in that aspect. Not much to report on other of these assets as of right now. So we're going to kind of leave it at that. We're going to go back to the comments, see if anyone's got any other requests. Let's take a look at them, and we'll kind of call it on the market update from there. Let's take a look and see if anything else catches our eye. We could look at the big Bitcoin miners real fast. Let's see. Bitcoin miners, where are you at? Bitcoin miners got you on here somewhere. Let's see. Bitcoin miner. Let me just type in Riot. Let me type in Riot. It'll be faster. So we're not just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. There it is. Riot. Okay. So Riot had a buy signal, correction back down to the trending dots, right? Followed by another buy signal, and then moved back up into target 2, and then has a pending reversal candle, right? It's still bullish on the daily chart, and the trending dots are still trending upward. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Had a buy signal. It has a pending sell now, but it did have a buy signal on the weekly chart. The week is still early, so it could be a pending sell. It could come back and retest the trending dots on the weekly chart and then find support and bounce from there. Too early to say, but that is the weekly chart on Riot. I'm still in some positions on it, and I did close out, and I mentioned this in the Discord. I did close out, probably a majority of my options that were in a little bit of profit. They didn't hit home runs by any means, but I did close it out because we were getting in towards lower time frames. We're showing a retracement heading into the weekend, and my options with time decay would be expiring in a couple weeks. So I said, worst case scenario, I'm going to get out of them heading into the weekend and not get hit with a couple days worth of time decay, especially if the lower time frames are looking like a retracement, right? Because it was getting overbought. So I closed them and I can always reload back up, but that I was going to hold my stock positions and get out of my options positions. So again, not financial advice. Don't copy trade me whatsoever, for educational purposes only. But I did want to type that out in the Discord and kind of let you know my thought process on that. So in hindsight, it was a good idea, right? So that's options, shorter term options versus longer term possible stock plays. I'm still holding it based off the risk to reward ratio. So we're going to call it there on the Bitcoin miners. I've covered it in more detail back here on there. And so continue to go there. A couple things I want to point out before we get into all these comments here. Aldo, Meta, yep, we covered that. Again, thanks for the 2,000. Thanks. I got a lot of comments on this photo here. I'm not a great influencer, right? So I'm not a great influencer in my own mind. So I thought it was kind of funny to do that photo. Got a lot of laughs out of it. So awesome. One more thing I want to talk about was prediction. Based on the charts, the unemployment rate will be above 6% in 2024. Current revision, they had it at 3.8%. And big surprise, big breaking news that the current revision is at 3.9%. I have a chart to show you. This is based on the charts, based on the monthly chart, right? So we're going to take a look at the quick chart over here. And this is what I'm talking about. So this is the civilian unemployment rate 1 month chart. And you can see after this bottoming phase back here at about 3.5%, it started to get bullish on the monthly chart. And I know it was a black swan event. I know. But that started in February. And even in the charts, it showed us that it could go all the way up. Now, this is the line. I don't think it shows the candles. So it might have spiked slightly higher. But based off this monthly chart, it was almost 15%, right? And then came all the way back down, right? And it's kind of like going through this bottoming phase. What's interesting is the sharpshooter RSI has picked up bullish divergence going back to April 2014, right? So there's bullish divergence on the unemployment rate. I don't think it's funny that we're going to see the market lose a lot of jobs. I just think it's interesting that the sharpshooter RSI is picking up bullish divergence long term. I think it's interesting that there's a MACD bullish crossover on the monthly chart, just like there was back here. And eventually it took off to the upside, right? Especially once it was getting closer to that zero line down here. I think that's interesting. And if we look back here, right? If we look back here, once it went bullish and started gaining relative strength, it had a spike up. Once it went bullish back here, it had a big bounce back above the 200-week moving average. So the 200-week moving average is above 6%. So that's where my and it's a very conservative prediction, right? But the prediction is that once it went bullish on this monthly chart, it went back above the 200-week moving average and pumped even higher, right? Once it went bullish, it went back above the 200-week moving average and then pumped higher, right? Once it went bullish, it went back above 200-week moving average and went a little bit higher, right? So that's the theme. Once it went bullish on the monthly chart, it went back above the 200-week moving average, and so on and so on and so on. So it's starting to get bullish. There's a buy signal on RSI, MACD bullish crossover, blah, 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 right? There's many reasons why. So in the next 6, 9, or 12 months, my prediction is that the civilian unemployment rate goes back above the 200-week moving average, which is currently at 6.08%. So I just want to kind of show that to you. I posted that. Like, repost, whatever. 2,000 subs on YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate all of your support. And let's keep going. Let's get into these comments. Let's rock and roll. G-Rod, good morning. Awesome. All right. So we went to all this. Caesar, good afternoon. Awesome. Welcome back. James, Roland, looks similar to Matic. Which one? I know we were covering crypto. So, was it Litecoin? So let's take a quick look at Litecoin and come back to Matic, James. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions because we did cover crypto. So I just want to look at Litecoin because we didn't cover that, but I did cover it on Twitter X app, and I did cover it on the videos, even going back a month ago. So here, let me just type it in to save time purposes. Hope everyone had a good weekend with the family. Hope everyone took some time away from the charts. I know I did. Wow. Got to pat the back of the Minnesota Vikings, 4th quarterback of the season. Missing our first receiver, a third receiver, the laundry list of injuries. They battled and pulled out a win somehow, some way. Let's look at Litecoin. This is perpetual. So let me get a different one. Let me get, let's see, Litecoin. Let me just get the regular Binance, right? Regular Binance. That's perpetual futures. Where is it? There it is. There it is. Got it. All right. Found it. There we go. So we had the buy signal on the daily chart back here. Target 1 was hit. Then this longer term downward trend line was broken out. Yeah, that was a Vikings game. It was crazy. John Cross, it was. It's been crazy. Last year was crazy. Too many games decided by one score or less. it's a panic attack waiting to happen, right? And then this year, so many games decided by one score or less already. We lost the first 3, and now we've won the last 5 out of 6, even though we're really hurting. But we do get a lot of key players back potentially next week, and we don't have a tough schedule the next 4 to 5 weeks, right? Relatively speaking, we could make a run. John Cross, we are the 7th seed in the NFC. It's terrible. AFC is stacked. The NFC is terrible, right? Buy signal on Litecoin. We were talking about it back here. Covered it a month ago, right? Covered the bullish divergence, followed by a higher low, followed by a buy signal, target 1. Now it's ultra bullish on the daily chart. Could be lagging time-wise. We don't even have a buy signal on the weekly chart yet. It's still early, right? It's still early. Weekly close back above the trending dots over here. It's still early. We're looking at it. MACD is crossing right now on the weekly chart. The 200-week moving average is up here at 102. So even if that's all we saw was come up and hit target 2, 3, and then 4 at 26%, retest the 200-week moving average, has a lot more potential to upside more than that. 39% on Litecoin from there. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. Matic. Not sure what your looks similar to Matic, but yeah, Matic was looking very similar to the other ones. I'm not sure what you're talking about here. James, let me know if you got a follow-up. Memento Mori forever. OF, it says in the daily alerts that EG index is a potential buy. What does it mean? We should be watching for a daily buy signal, or can we act immediately? I'm not really, maybe you can elaborate on this. Memento Mori forever. Sorry, I'm not really certain of exactly what you're talking about. Daily alerts that EG is an index, is a potential buy. I don't know. EG index. Let me know what chart you want me to look at. I can take a look at it. Maybe I'll just do some research off the live stream. Figure out what you're asking. I'm sure I can figure it out. But as of right now, for saving time, let me know if you got any follow up. Grant Matterson, long time. Wes Diddy, Johnny C, Skull. Yes, Brandon Skull, my man. Love it. Yeah, that was a crazy Vikings game. We are 52 minutes into it. I'm not seeing any other requests. What do you want to talk about? Let me know. G-Rod, any thoughts on Mask? Okay, let's jump into it. Let's take a look. Crypto, Mask. Let me know if that's the one you want me to look at. Binance, Tether. I'm just going to pick that one, right? Unless you specify. Here's my thoughts. John Cross. Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy Vikings game. G-Rod, my man, any thoughts on Mask, USDT? Yes. These are my thoughts, right? Could be lagging time-wise. Very similar thoughts. Looking at the chart here. Very similar thoughts to DOT, ADA, Near, Matic, all those ones that might be possibly lagging time-wise, right? So if you missed any of these videos, Cardano buy signal, Bitcoin FOMO, new heights for crypto, right? Opportunity alert, crypto and miners 12 days ago, Bitcoin crypto, right? All those, I cover those multiple times. I covered it multiple times on the live streams, G-Rod. My thoughts are very similar to all those crypto assets. We just had a buy signal and it closed with the buy signal yesterday. Had a weekly close back above the trending dots. We got a green trending dot there, right? So had a buy signal, had a reversal candle on the daily chart. Had a reversal candle on the daily chart back here on October 20th, followed by a buy signal back above. It's trending back up. It looks like the eyeball test. Target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4 has been hit. So if it flips all these shorter term targets into support, then we're looking at higher targets, very similar to DOT. And I could probably draw those out on the next, if you tag me. Oh, Binance, G-Rod, you got it. Yep, that's what I'm taking a look at. So very similar thoughts. Look at those targets, G-Rod. You can kind of eyeball test based off of DOT. Cardano, Near, Matic, etc. Be humble, Tom. Be humble, Tom. Okay. Be humble, Tom. Let's take a look at Algo. I did cover that. Let's take a look at it today. Algo. Let's see. Tether. There we go. Let's take a look at it. Where are you? Where are you, Algo? Here, let me redo it. Let me redo it. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Why is it not finding Algo? All right. I'm determined. We are going to get it. All right. Algo. One more time. Let me just select it. There we go. And there we go. Finally. It's ultra bullish on the daily chart, right? Had a buy signal back here on October 23rd. I'm assuming, be humble, Tom. I am assuming it's very close to a buy signal on the weekly chart. And I'm assuming it's going to be very close to a pending buy signal on the weekly chart. So it's going to probably be very similar to these other crypto assets. And it's probably going to be, it's still relatively early based on the weekly chart. We don't even have a pending buy signal on the weekly chart. And we don't even have a buy signal. And massive potential to the upside. Even from here, right? The 200-week moving average is 350%. Doesn't mean it's going to hit it. It's possible that it's still really early. It's potential 350%. And so it's a massive potential, not even a buy signal there. I think I've been covering it. It's ultra bullish on the daily chart, but the buy signal on the weekly chart hasn't even happened. And there's not even a pending buy signal yet. So that is Algo. That is, we're going to call it here just at 1 hour, 57 minutes. Thanks again for all of your support. I appreciate you. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. Continue to share this with your friends and family. I appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Awesome.